Welcome to JLMTAuto, and this is my Golf GTI. It's imported from Japan and we're going to be undersealing it today. Well, not quite today, maybe in a couple of days, because we've got to rinse this all off, get it clean and then underseal it, but we will be doing that in this video. So let's get straight into it. Let's get the car in the air, wheels off, clean all the arches and underneath and get it ready for undersealing. So I underseal a Volkswagen, and yes, it's from Japan, but ultimately it's still a Volkswagen, so it still has the same protection that all Volkswagens have when they leave the factory, whether that's going to Germany, Sweden, US or Japan. But ultimately everything will corrode and rust as you get stone chips, as some of the anti-corrosive paintwork or treatment comes off over time. At the end of the day, this car is a 13-year-old car, and actually looking under it, it's the first time I've seen it, it's really clean, but I want it to stay like that. I want it to stay a clean JDM import, and the best way to do that is to preserve it with an underseal. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you around now with it all dirty, with lots of salt and UK corrosive water everywhere, because the UK is terrible at this time of year. And then we'll get it cleaned off as best we can. I don't want to jet wash in here, so I've got some spray bottles, try and do what we can. And then we can leave it dry, and that's the key thing. Let it dry as long as possible. I've brought a compressor with me, so when I come back in a couple of days after it's been in here drying away, we can blow the remainder off and then we can underseal, and that is the key thing. What is underseal? Well, underseal is a thin film. Most contain a chemical called lanolin and some sort of wax or oil which stays and either hardens or becomes like a sticky residue, and it stops any water or moisture penetrating the metal and then corroding. So what I've gone for is BILT HAMBER. There are plenty of other types. I wanted an easy one spray solution that I didn't have to mess around with like a spray gun or air compressor stuff. I just wanted something simple that was ready to go. BILT HAMBER offer a couple of different products. UC and UB is what I've got. UB is for like your black surfaces. It's for really hard air hitting areas like your wishbones and all the under tray area. And then your UC is your clear coat, which goes on your arches or any painted area which you want to stay clear. It's not as strong, but it's still very protective. So we'll be using that, and I'm hoping 2 cans is enough. We'll soon find out. We'll get to cleaning. No, I'm not going to make you watch the whole lot, so I'll catch you in a minute. So that's the underside clean and ready to go. We're going to leave this to dry for probably 2 or 3 days, come back, see how we're getting on, blow all the dust off. We might even take some under trays off and get underneath some of the areas where we couldn't quite get, blow all that off, scrub it off, then get the underseal on. So here we are back at the car a couple of days later. We've washed off the car. We are now going to blow it out with an airline, make sure all the dust and debris and any remaining water is off the car. We're also going to take off some of these plastic covers, try and get access to the lower part of the chassis a little bit better. Don't think I'll have time to do the arches, but I'll do them at a later date. So yeah, so let's get on with it. What we're going to do is we're going to start with BILT HAMBER Dynax UB, which is the brown coating or very slight tinge of brown, which is designed for non-painted surfaces and internal, so into some of the crevices, into the jacking points, and then any painted surface including sills, under arches, and some of these belly plates here will hit with the UC, which is the clear coat, so you keep that paint finish underneath. Apply it lightly, lots of light coats, so we want around 3 or 4 fairly light coats, and that will give us our 100 micron thickness, and that should protect the car over winter. The other thing about this product which I didn't mention is this is only £15, so £15 per can. I think in total we should be able to do majority of this car with just 2 cans, so we're talking £30–35 depending on whether you get an offer or not to do the entire car, which is great pricing for these. So what I've just been doing is going around all these areas where there's a hole or a cavity where moisture can get in, example here, and just giving it a bit of an injection of this. This sprays quite viciously inside, so it should capture most of the area around it. So just trying to capture all these little nooks and crannies where we could get trapped moisture, which we really don't want. While I wait for the UB to dry to give our second and maybe third coat, we'll jump onto our UC, which is the clear coat, which will mean we can still see the paint underneath. I mean, the brown isn't too bad, but some of these painted surfaces, especially across the sills and stuff, you want to be able to make sure that it still looks and you can see through and see there's no rust. The brown will just put that tinge on so it won't be as obvious, but ultimately it shouldn't rust because it's really well protected anyway. So yeah, we'll crack on with a clear coat, get that over the painted surfaces, and then go back to the brown and then back to clear, and then we should be done. What an easy, worthwhile job doing. I cannot believe that it's taken me, appreciate I've got a ramp, or I've got access to a ramp, it's taken me an hour to clean it off, get all the debris off, get it ready for undersealing, maybe another half an hour prep, drying it off, getting the dust off, getting some of the undersheets off and things like that, and then another half an hour spraying, waiting for dry, spraying again. Really good product, really easy to use, highly recommend it. Let's see what it looks like in a year's time, but at the moment it's looking good underneath. I'm really pleased with the condition of it since importing anyway, but hopefully this will just make it last a little bit longer. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any more content, and we'll see you next time on JLMTAuto. Thanks again for watching.
I'm new, come back better than last year. It's a new me, never gonna look back.